Well, I guess I go all the way back to the start, and this, I don't think there's any continue options, but um, one feature that the author Dante Mendes added to this port is the normal mode, as opposed to the arcade mode, which at least gives me more, well, it gives me health, because you know, the in the arcade machine that would have killed me, that guy dropping onto me, but at least I've got a bit of health. Health that I've almost entirely burned up. Do let me know if my mix of audio is okay. Now, this was made in a very old version of Scorpion, so this bug where the sprite is shaking, I think I fixed that a long time ago. And seeing that bug again after so many years is definitely one of the blasts from the past I've had playing this game recently. Oh, nice, sabotage that guy's. I think I did sabotage that guy's parachute. That was cool. Is my audio coming through at all? I haven't seen anything in the chat yet. Actually, right. Ah, testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, my audio should be coming through. I don't know if anyone can hear me though. Oh, good message. Audio is okay, it's somewhat quiet. Both voice and game could be louder. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to pause this to tweak, but I'll keep going until there's opportunity for me to pause. Ah, I think that was the boss. Okay, no, I didn't quite make it to the boss. All right, let's have a look here. Well, I've got my mic turned up to maximum. Actually, maybe that's not quite true. See if there's any boost I need to... Ah, it's not what I want. Sound settings, input, that's a correct microphone. Okay, let's put that up to 100. How does that sound for my voice? So I've put my voice up to 100. I'll put the game up to 20. Okay. Oh, that's good to hear. Actually, I'm gonna start this from start because one thing I really love about this is that because this is so it's got this old version of the Scorpion splash screen. The version of Scorpion Engine used to make this was older than the Scorpion Engine logo, so I think a lot of Scorpion Engine developers haven't even seen that original splash screen before. But yeah, so this was... I think this might have been the first full-length game to be released with Scorpion Engine. The actual full game, not just the demo. And so, yeah, arcade porter by Dante Mendes. There is a few innovations with this, so you can choose like the arcade music or the NES music. I'm going to go for NES music this time. The other thing is we've got normal and arcade difficulty. So arcade, I assume, is one health and then you're dead. In fact, I'll have one game of arcade, but I don't think I'm going to get very far of it. Just because this is the only game I've got lined up today, so we'll spend a little bit of time with it. Oh, dead already. Yeah, growing up, the version of this I had was Commodore 64. I feel like that was even harder than harder than this, even with one health. Oh. Yeah, I got to be careful around the ladders. It feels a bit like Donkey Kong. When they suddenly come down the ladders when... Oh, that was close. Nope, that was a waste. I haven't got any more. Oh, okay. Well, that so arcade difficulty managed to beat the first level, which is a lot further than I ever got on the Commodore 64 version. I guess I didn't have like sometimes I did manage to get through like the whole of really hard games like Akari Warriors using trainers. But I guess I didn't have a trainer for this game because I never came close to beating it. Or never came close to beating the first level. Actually, there was a similar game on Commodore 64 called, I think it was called Bazooka Bill. And the weird thing about that is I remember the first time I played it, I got really far through the game. Like, I got through a lot of levels the first time I ever played it, and I thought, oh, okay, this is a pretty cool game. And then I shut it down, and then when I tried to play it again, I couldn't even beat the first level. It just seemed to go on and on forever, and I didn't understand why. I'd done so well in that first game, but never been able to get even the first level coming back to it. It was only years and years later I looked up and I found out that there's sort of a maze structure to the levels, and I think maybe I'd just forgotten that I could like go through doors, and I don't know, maybe I'd also gotten a bit lucky with just finding my way through the maze first time. Oh, wait, am I still playing it on arcade? I thought I had selected normal difficulty. Huh. Okay, I'll just get a game over. I thought I had switched it to normal difficulty. Okay, let's try that again just in case we'll see what happens. We'll make sure that I choose normal difficulty this time. Switch to linear sound. I'm gonna go to normal. Okay, no, that's better. It must have been my fault. I must have just force of habit chose arcade rather than normal. But I'll give this one or two more plays. I just want to see. I mean, it would be really cool if I could get to the end of it like I did with Breakthrough last week. But of course, with Breakthrough, every time I die, like even though it's a really hard game, every time I died, I only went back, like 30 seconds. Whereas this, it's 3 lives, it's up, game over, start from start. So, um, I think I am getting better at this slowly. Don't jump over that mine. Oh, that was close. I managed it. Oh, and you can get the bazooka. Oh. Oh! Okay, I didn't know you could use the bazooka to clear the mines. That is handy. Hi Mixel, welcome to the chat. I've got something nostalgic to show you after I guess whenever I game over. Go where I can sabotage that guy's parachute. Whoop. Yeah. So what that flashed was the virtual keyboard that is part of PoE, which lets you use enter keyboard commands even if you don't have a keyboard plugged in, which you might not have if you're playing this just with the joypad. Ah, damn it. Very close. That's about as far as I've been. Well, far as I've been this session. I can't remember if I've been further. I do remember something about a submarine boss. I can't remember if I'd got into it, organically, or if I just watched someone else playing it. Okay, well, let's get to this. Alright, so we at least got to the checkpoint. So if I die here... Oh! Doggos. Oh, poor doggos. No. I feel bad now. Mixer says, love this, but it's brutal. Yeah, so this is definitely one of the easier versions of the game since... you've got 3 health as an option instead of just, one shot you die. The one I had was Commodore 64 as a kid. I never played it on the real arcade machine. I could be wrong, but I think the Commodore 64 version has a reputation as being harder than the arcade machine. I could be wrong there. I certainly never got past like the first level on Commodore 64. Whoa. Ah. Yeah, this bit looks like it's going to be brutal with those two mortar guys. Yeah, Dante did mention, unfortunately, because this was made with such an old version of Scorpion, it might be a real hassle trying to, dust it off and re-release it with a more modern version. It does have some bugs that were since fixed with newer Scorpions. Oh. Whoa. I'm gonna get over there. Man, I was lucky not to get hit by the parachuter. Come on, you need that health. Ah. God damn it. Go! Oof. Yeah, got another flamer. I'm not sure if this is the last level or the second last level. I think it might be the last level because the screen earlier said something about a bridge. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like that scene in, oh, was that game over? Oh no. I guess that was the final boss. Oh, I see. Yeah, so it's supposed to say, yeah, it said over on the left side. It was supposed to say game over. But anyway. Um, so yeah, that's Green Beret by Dante Mendes. Mixo, if you're still there, I wanted to show you just a little blast from the past. Yeah, there we go. Scorpion Engine Free Edition. Old splash screen, no logo. I don't think I've seen that for several years now. It certainly predates that was well before it even started on the Mega Drive version of Scorpion. That was only that was only for the earlier builds for Amiga. But it was still, even back then, as Dante demonstrated, you could do a full-length arcade port in it, even in its antiquated state. And yeah, and of course, since then, Dante's gone on to create a Castlevania AGA, which is further pushed what the Scorpion Engine games can look like. All right, now I have an idea of what I want to do for the workshop, but I'm not fully decided on that. If anyone's got any suggestions. Huh. Okay, that's kind of interesting. It's too high res for Scorpion, but I do like the look of that. My idea is I was going to make a infinitely scrolling road with blocks, and so it's not like the existing demo where you can it just loops the same scenery over and over, but we have the road turning and weaving a bit, a little bit of pseudo randomness. Yeah, I figured you would like that idea. Oh, now that looks familiar. That oh man, should yeah. If that looks familiar to you, it's because we sort of used. I think it was this tile set, or John Tracker has used this tile set as the basis for the art for Elasticity, which is my forever project. I need to get back to actually finish, or at least make progress on. So just looking at this is kind of cute. Oh, I like that. I like that font set. This has got all sorts of interesting things that yeah. This might be quite fun to add as a sort of like a default tile set. All right. Well, So, the brief from my workshop is I intend to make something that has sort of an infinite road, like Flibble suggested, Spy Hunter or Highway Sprint. Can I find? So I think I had an animation of. Yep. So this is a game I didn't build it in Scorpion. I built it basically in oh yeah, in Blitz Basic. Um, I do want to bring this to Scorpion Engine someday. And I think with what Scorpion Engine can do now, it should be possible. I guess we just have to, we'll see how today goes, and then maybe if today goes well, I'll have a think about, okay, well let's port this to Scorpion Engine. All right, let's go back to Open Game Art, and we want. Let's try looking for road. I know there are some road tiles there that Oh. Oh yeah, so that I think I use this. Yeah, that's kind of cute. I'm not sure that it fits with 16 by 16. Um, Same with that one. That's kind of cute, but it's not really the kind of road we're after. We're sort of yeah, something like this, but that's way too high res. Um, huh. Wait, what did that say? Oh, I see. So I was wondering why that came up with road, but you can see the whole thing is a road. 3D parking. That's looking promising, but I think it's just too high res. Yeah. In fact, it has this sort of. I mean, it almost looks like it's a mixed resolution, where some tiles are different resolution to other. I don't think that's. I think that's a little bit too high res. That could almost work. Yeah. Instead of road. Oh. Oh, hello. Oh. I thought they looked quite promising for like an outrun type project, but yeah, the white lines are supposed to have perspective as well. That doesn't really make much sense. Oh yeah, so the voxels can't really work with voxels, of course. I might need to look for racer or race. Yeah, Kenny stuff's very nice, but it doesn't tend to be the right resolution for what we need. 2D racing game kit. Oh yeah, that's. There's some of those sprites. I mean, they're not click and play sprites, but they do remind me of the cars in click and play. Oh, hang on, this is interesting. What you got? Okay. Alright, well, I might need to keep this one in mind if whenever I come back to making like an outrun demo. Um, that one would almost be all right if it was had a bit more color and was facing vertical. What's this one? C64 style racing game. Okay, no, that's That's looking relatively promising. Hmm. I'm going to keep that as an option. Let's see anything. Oh wait, what was that one at the racing the GUI? UI race level. I think it's probably way too high res. Oh, and it's 3D. Oh, those are cool. Those are quite cool models. They could be used for like a, like a Super Skid Marks type game. I think if they were, if the sprite set was scaled down a bit. Um, yeah, I do quite like that, but it's not really suitable. Not pressure. What I don't understand is why I haven't seen the because I used some art to make the vertically scrolling demo. I don't know why I haven't seen it again. I was pretty sure I got it from here. Maybe not. Yeah, racing. Oh, that's yeah. Now that's the art that I used for the. Yep, that's definitely it. That's the art that I used for the vertical scrolling demo. I did not um hmm. Yep. So we use the same art set as our vertical scrolling demo, but unlike our vertical scrolling demo, it's not just going to be it's not just going to repeat the same length of track. If this goes well, I'll probably replace the demo that comes with Scorpion with this. Okay, so we need to have a look at this in PaintShop Pro to make sure that, or whatever art program you use. PaintShop Pro is the one that I've always stuck with. Hello, Dockster. Hello, Amiga Cami. Welcome to the chat. Um, yeah. Oh, now this. Oh. Yeah, some of this I could implement using uh the the sprite parallax system, but I do need to properly add a sprite UI. Like there is an option for a sprite UI, but you can't add elements to it at the moment. But anyway, so yeah, this layout is pretty good. We need to check our color depth. 32. Yeah. I mean, 32 is fine for Amiga, but I don't want to really restrict it to being um don't want to restrict it to being Amiga. So if I well, we need black as part of the palette. And let's get rid of the alternative tile set. How many colors do we have now? Oh, still 32. Oh, I guess. Yeah, I want to get rid of basically everything that we don't need. Um, I suppose it's those cars that's gonna. What colours we have now? 31. Okay, we only really saved one colour there. Okay, no, never mind. What we will do, I do want it to be, I do want it to be 16 colours. I'm gonna run it through XNView. I think what we would be doing is if we were making a proper full Mega Drive or Neo Geo game, we would use palette lines. So we would say, okay, well these are palette line 1 or palette line 0 for the first 16 colors. These are palette line 1 for the second 16 colors, and maybe some of these for palette line 2 or 3. And then on the Amiga version, we would just have it all as one giant palette. But we want to keep this fairly simple, not spend too much time on it. Oh, Mixel had an interesting idea: is make it grayscale. I mean, I guess we could even make it uh, some of that. Sorry, even make it like Game Boy. Okay, so let's have a look. So this is going to half the number of colors. So let's try 16. No dithering. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see any problem with that. Actually, I will. Sorry, before I do that, I think transparent is counted as a color. We don't really need to treat transparent as a color. Is that going to reduce it by 1? No. Okay. Well, where do we use that color otherwise? Oh, no, let's turn that off. Oh, no, that's not true black. That was what confused me. Okay, so that should reduce the colors by 1. Yep, it does. Um, and then if I go back to let's try that. Okay. Yeah, let's overwrite that. So that should give me a 16 color palette, which it has. Might have destroyed some of the detail on these things. It doesn't really matter. I wasn't really planning to use them. Um, I'll make sure that is true black, which it's not. So let's put that all the way down to 0. I'm gonna go. So there's a bug with PaintShop Pro where I can't go increase to 256 colors from 16, but I can go to 250. No, go to full RGB, and then I can go back to 256. And I'll just check. Yep. Okay. So that is I might edit that to be true white. Okay, alright, that will do. I've spent enough time mucking around with the tilesic palette. Let's actually start the project. I need to create a project. Can't just open a project. I'll do it as Amiga OCS. Let's import our palette. That oh yeah, and let's get rid of those. Actually, what I'll do is I'll yeah, copy that to the bottom range so I can reuse that for sprites. We need a tile set, of course, so let's that's tile set and tile set. Now for the most part, we won't actually be using this as a tile set, but I do want the grass there as the default background. Yeah, just call this map. Now, let's edit this map. And we only want it to be 16 wide, so we'll make it 256 wide game. Height of 64, that should be alright. So I'll use this 16 by 16 buffer for scrolling, and that should give us our infinite scroll. Oh, now I need that one. So that just is going to give me a few random oh, actually, can I fill the map? I can't combine those tools, can I? Oh no, I can combine them. Okay. All right, so that gives me a random scenery background. But it's going to be very important that the top 16 matches the bottom 16. So I need to copy that. Then I need to paste. Oops. I think maybe because I've still got this on. No, why can't I select anything? It's not because of that. Oh, no. Wait, what is that one? Shapeful. No, I don't want that. I want to grab the top 16. Perfect. Copy that. Paste that. Okay, so the top 16 and the bottom 16 match. So we've got something to start with that should be infinitely scrollable. We want it, and just load that map. I'm just going to load the map without doing anything, just to make sure it runs. Flibble says, I really had not noticed that Scorpion would just create a tile set. For some reason, I thought a map was needed first. No, we need a tile set to make a map, not the other way around. Okay, so Oh, now I did say I needed the buffer to be 16 by 16, and that is important for the fast warp. So what the fast warp does is it repositions the camera without redrawing the tile set. Um, create a new level scroll, and let's do a condition. I'm just going to go condition if camera y equals 0. We'll say we are at the top of the buffer. So I just realized that, of course, the camera height isn't going to be 256, but I don't think that matters. Anyway, let's go display camera position. We want camera warp. We want fast warp, and we want like map map height minus 256, and then I suppose it doesn't really matter if we're doing the camera move before or after, but we'll do it after. We'll go display camera position is camera y minus 1. And I'll do warp. I won't do a fast warp because that might need to scroll the tiles in, but at least having the camera warp means that any actors on the screen are going to be dragged with the camera. Oh, what do we got? What happened there? What did happen there? No, I can't explain that. I'll make the width of the buffer a bit wider just in case it's trying to scroll outside the level map. That might be just a bug with uh yeah, okay. So there must be some sort of problem where the it's displaying outside of what it should be for the buffer. I don't know, I can't explain that. I do have 256 wide, so it shouldn't have been displaying the splash screen, but having that extra buffer, it just means, it's rendering outside. Well, it's no longer rendering the that splash screen image outside the map. Now I do need to set my is it level scroll? Let's see if that works. Actually, I know why it didn't hadn't scrolled in. Oh, yeah. So that looks like it's working. I'll make it go faster, but I also want it to start from that position so that it yeah, so that it does scroll in the tiles above it. We don't need camera warp or fast. I'll do camera warp just in case. But what do I want camera? No, I'll take out camera warp. I'll just set at the starting level. I'll just set the camera to the bottom of the screen, and then it's going to scroll it up. I probably want because the map's very repetitive, I probably want some sort of visual indicator of the top and the bottom. So that's cheating a little bit, but well, not cheating. Just going to look a bit weird, but that's okay. We just need some sort of indicator that it's infinitely looping and not just because it's a bit hard to tell with the repetitive scenery. Yeah, I mean that. So we've got our infinitely looping level, or and yeah, at least infinitely looping scenery. It's all seamless. Um, there's no frame skips as far as I can tell. Oh, and I need to set that color down to 16. But yeah, so that is working as we expect. But it doesn't do anything we haven't already done with the infinite scrolling map demo. What we want to do is we want to have a road that is infinite and semi-random. So we're going to do it with blocks. So blocks are the only way we can do dynamic tiles, because these tiles are all baked to the map. But our scenery is going to be baked for this demo, but our road is going to be, infinite. Actually, I'll call it the road. Now, this one I just want to, yeah, I'll just grab that tile because I just want a grey block. That's all I want. Then we can use our, I want to declare a few variables, so we've got a variable I, a variable word I 0, variable word j 0. So programming conventions, we typically use I and j for loops, and we need to do a loop because we're going to want to paint this road along the entire length of the screen, so the entire length of the map. So let's go for I equals 0 to okay, so it's 16 wide, so 8 will be in the middle. So let's go. Let's say if we want it 6, 7, 7 to 10. Then for j equals that will be 0 to 63. Oh, and that, yeah. I'm thinking of generic programming languages rather than code block specifically. Let's go level block set. Let's go I and j. In fact, I think it's going to be more. It's going to be easy to read if we just go. we just use X and Y. Why not? I don't think I use those variables anywhere else internally. Set block B road. So at least in theory, that one is going to... Yeah, that's and that's what I expected it to do. Sorry, I'm just counting. I should have moved it one. Is it a little bit too far over to the try that. I think it's a little bit too far over to the right. Okay, so we've got a road. We're not really doing anything with our road. What I'm going to do now is... Uh, 48. I'm just going to draw... Now, I'm just going to draw it at the top of the buffer. 15. So we're going to see the road pop in, just, you know, like magically pop in. That's fine, because we want to add a function to copy the road from the top of the buffer to the bottom of the buffer anyway. Actually, let me just check. Something a little bit odd there. Why is that beyond 0? Why is it above the screen? Above the loop. I must have miscounted somewhere. No, because that's at the top of the road. What have I done? I think it's something to do with... I've miscalculated the... if it was his, you know what? Nobody's made one of those down-scrolling randomly generated ski games. Yeah, I mean, it would be awesome to have, like, ski-free on Scorpion. Now, I'm trying to work out why does that one extend past the buffer. I think I've miscalculated something with the level scroll. I think it could be to do with... well, I've got the buffer size of 16. I think it could be something to do with the screen height, because the screen height isn't 256. I'm trying to work out why that is... Why that looks so off. Like, where is that pattern coming from? Okay, so that pattern is coming from there. So that's the bottom of... So it's scrolling... Yeah. Oh, I didn't, Oh, no. No, I have done something weird here where it is not properly aligning. Sorry, I'll try not to spend too long fixing this. I'm hoping this is just a logical bug and not something in Scorpion I didn't think of. Or didn't, So that should start. That should be starting at the bottom. That looks about right. So it must be when I get to the top here. When I get to the top here, it's like it's not. Um, yeah, what? They have got the right size. It's 256. Okay, let's turn off. Let's turn off fast. Oh, and it could also be because I'm doing it. Maybe it's because I'm doing a fast warp and a regular warp in the same frame. It's confusing it. Yeah, okay, I think that's the problem. Is it looks right now, at least at a glance. So yeah, that is the problem. Is it's doing a fast warp and a regular warp in the same frame, and because of that, um, it's telling it to not redraw, but also do skip doing a redraw. If I change that to if I go 2, and let's just change this to else. Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense. So if, I think that makes sense. So if it's 2 pixels down from the bottom, it's going to warp to the end of the buffer minus 256, which is where it would be anyway. We want camera warp and fast warp. We don't want We just want camera warp. We just want regular camera warp most of the time, then fast warp when we get to the top of the screen. Let's see if that makes it any better. Oh. No, that made it worse. I think it's because it's splitting it over several frames. So it's almost like one frame is right and the other... actually, no. Neither frame are right, but one of them is worse than the other. Okay, so that might be a bug I need to fix with fast warp. Unless... add another tile to the... add another tile to the top there. I'm going to make it 254 since that also needs to handle the upward movement. Is that going to work? If that doesn't work, I'll just do it in slow mode. I won't worry about fast mode. No, that's just making it messy. Okay, I'm going to undo that. I will need to just, I need to come back to it. Oops. It does mean that there's, could be a frame skip. But that's okay. I can solve that. I can solve that issue another time. Don't want to spend all day on this one problem. As I mentioned earlier, I will need to write a function to, copy road slice, because otherwise it's just going to keep. Oh, actually, that was weird. Why? I saw it. Yeah, why is that? Why is that skipping like that? Minus 256. Oh, what? Why have I got map? It should be map height minus 256. What? That wasn't the whole problem, was it? Okay, let's run that again and see what happens. Have I still got fast warp in there? I do. Okay, let's turn fast warp off. Okay, so if we get a road in, the road disappears. Okay. Yeah, so that's basically what we expect. That's, looking as you expect. I know the road disappears. That's because we only draw it at the bottom of the screen. We don't, so we only draw it at the top of the screen. We don't draw it at the bottom. We need to have, let's add a code block called block. And then just go sub. Oh, okay, that was weird. Block copy. In fact, let's go into Notepad. So when I go 0 to 15, I'm going to go if y is greater than 16. Turn, and we'll just say we don't need to block copy in the middle of the screen. Variable word old block 0 on the middle of the map. In fact, I think I know why that the fast warp wasn't really working there. Is it it needs to update a lot of the scrolling information to say, hey, this is where we were before, this is where we are now. I was thinking of throwing out that fast warp function anyway and replacing it with like a proper dedicated warping function. Anyway, so a dedicated fast warping function, because that makes it a little bit easier to understand how to use it, but also we should fix all those bugs we had with it earlier. If we go get block x equals x, y equals y. Just check that that's the right syntax. That is. And then what we go, set block, old block, x, x, y equals y. No, y equals y plus 48. Yep. Okay, that should work. So that should give us our infinite road. Well, if it didn't crash. Am I doing something like thing? Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's upsetting. That's confusing that outer. Yeah, okay. We need to change this around. That was confusing that, because we're using x in the inner and the outer, but we don't want to have that interfere with this. Let's try that again. So I think that was causing an infinite loop. Okay, I'll just check to see if that... No? Did I do wrong here? Oh, because I turned that off, because I thought that was the reason for the crash, but it wasn't. Okay, so that's giving us... our road is looping from top to bottom. That is what we were expecting. We need to scroll ahead of the... we need to scroll ahead of the camera. So what I need to do is I need to go, need to have condition, and I'm going to go if y make a note that is the same as y mod 16 0. So this basically says, okay, well our camera is at the top of our oh, that basically says the camera is at the top of our tile, and so we need a new tile ahead of the road. I'm gonna get rid of that draws, that drew the default road, and then I'm gonna say set variable y equals camera y divided by 16. Camera y divided by 16 minus 1. So, and then I want to have handling for if y is less than 0. So if y is less than 0, then we're off the top of the screen, and we need to go base y y plus 48. So that will wrap it around, so that, if I'm trying to draw up there, if it's trying to draw up there, then it will wrap it around and say, actually, we need to be drawing down there. Although I probably don't really need that, since that condition should never happen. Yeah, I'll take that out. That condition should never happen, because that's going to be at the top of the buffer anyway. I'm going to go base. No, I'm gonna need to do another for loop. So that for loop we had before, which I think was for x equals was it 6 to 9? The road x equals x, y equals y. and then we need to go sub block copy. So what that should do, it's supposed to be end. I keep getting the syntax mixed up because, you know, next is what you normally use with for in every other programming language. Oh, ReadyJect says camera and OXFF is mod 256, not mod 16. You are absolutely right. That should be that. Yes. Oh, thanks for pointing that out. I would have gotten stuck on that. Okay, so that's drawing a line in front of, well, that's drawing a road in front of the screen. That's what I expected. I wasn't sure why. Why didn't it draw? Why didn't it draw a row here? Row. Oh, yeah, I know why. Because yeah, so the road is going to start after. Oh, actually, you know why? Why did it start 2 after here? It should have drawn 1 up there. Did I? I'll try that like that. Okay, no, I think that must just be yeah, okay. It's just because I warped down to the bottom, and so it's not going to scroll up until it gets to here, and then it's going to say, well, you need to draw it at -1, so that's why it skips that row. That's okay. We need to draw a road for the whole lot anyway, so I might what am I going to do next? Yeah, let's put our default road in. So we'll put we want to have our road from the very start of the game. Zero to 63. So that's our default road. It starts at 6 and goes to 9. Okay, so that gives us our infinite road, but we need to have a road slice option. Or road slice function. So let's go draw road slice. Variable word road x 0. Oh, no, let's call it road left. Variable word road right. And then I'll go set x equals 0. And then I'll go while for x equals 0 to road left -1. set block none x equals 0, y equals so x equals x, y equals y. So we have to make a few notes. So this is going to be the left side of the road. Look. No, that's confused. I would say left scenery. Middle of the road. So we'll start with road left to road right. I'm going to B road. Then I want right scenery of the road, which will be from road right to 15, and then I'll do my go sub block copy, so that will wrap the road around infinitely. Oh, and I keep doing that. Yeah, I should use that function to draw the whole lot. So we go sub draw road slice, and then we just want set road left equals 6, set road right 9. I'll also do that. Here. Now I'll just check that works, and if that works, then we can look at randomizing, or making the road curve a bit. Yeah, that no problem. Just gonna try that fast scroll again. It's probably not going to work, but if it doesn't, what I will do is off screen I will try to fix it in the engine, and then when that's fixed in the engine, I can release this as a demo that runs a little bit faster, so it doesn't have any frame skip when it wraps around at the top of the buffer. No, it's still messing it up because that pattern is not supposed to be up there. So no, it's not quite working, but that's okay. Come back to that. Turn off fast. Now we want a so yeah, let's do actually I can't remember the dice roll parameters. Roll dice, roll the min side will be -1, and then there's going to be 3 sides. So it'll be -1, 0, and 1. Then I will go set road left equals road left plus dice. But I also need to check that I'm not going too far to the left, too far to the right. So I'm going to go if road left is less than, what, 2? If road left is greater than 10. Set road left equals 10. Set road left equals 2. So it shouldn't go further to the right than 10. And shouldn't go further to the left than 2. And then I can go set road right equals... road left. Four. Okay, I'll just see how that looks. So it's going to be pretty wonky, but hopefully it will work. Yeah, I mean we've got an infinite road. As I said, it is pretty wonky. I think the road should be wider than that. Yeah, let's add a couple of constants. I'm going to constant road width equals, so I think it's 4 before. Make it 8. The constant scenery width equals 2. And then I can go if, well, road right equals road left plus road width. I can go if road left is less than scenery width, then road left equals scenery width. If road left is greater than 15, greater. I'm gonna go greater equal to 16. No, greater than 15 minus scenery width minus road width. So that makes sure it doesn't go too far to the right. Flo said the road widths are fixed in... Sorry, not the road... The road segments are fixed in Spy Hunter. Which... Yeah, that... that makes sense. But we can use... So something like that we could use, like, we got a block copy function for, you know, copying from the top of the buffer to the bottom. You know, there's no reason why we couldn't use that, couldn't use something like that here. I don't know if you saw, it said road ass, and that's just because it was overlapping the road assets. That was not intentional, but we do have sometimes we have road ass. We don't have road ass all the time. But yeah, there's obviously some, you know, problems with it looking quite ugly. So let's, I think if we do a bit of tidy up and then yeah, let's do a road left and a road right. Oh, and yeah, so what I'm doing is basically the same as what I did in Blitz Basic for the game Highway Sprint, but it did have a properly working function where it would wrap around the buffer without without needing to redraw the whole buffer. So that is something I'm going to need to fix here. Let's do B road left. And that is just going to be that. And we're going to want B road right. Oh, and of course I'm going to want fast split here. And the reason why I want fast split is basically, it basically says don't blit any transparency stuff. Just overwrite what's there, and that's exactly what we want. And so, because we're blitting a lot of these, we're going to want want it as fast as possible. What else can we do? We've got our road left. We've got our road right. Our drawing our road slice. This is going to need to be so this is going to need to be road left +1 to road right -1, and I can go set left side of road, set block B road left, x equals x, y equals y. I'll just go set x +1. Maybe not the tidiest way to do it. So that should give us our road edges. What have I done there? Oh, there we go. We've got the road arse again. I'm a very mature individual. Yeah, it's because we don't need that. Yeah, we don't need that because it's no, I need to I need to be setting this I need to be setting the X whenever I use it. So that should be much tidier. Why haven't I got the road right? What did I do wrong there? Have I got? No, that is set to the correct block. It's probably that I'm overwriting it here. Yeah, that should be... Okay, that should be road right +1. So I was actually drawing the right-hand road, but I was immediately overwriting it with the scenery. So I should have... Yep, so I do have that now. The fun bit is going to be making it so that it it curves a bit. Now I think so we've got curved pieces. One thing I think is going to be an issue with that is we've got it simply rotate. We have it juddering too much, so I'm going to make it so that it only does it every second. uh, um, same as y mod 2 1. So this is, we're basically saying we're going to only do this every second tile. And the reason we're doing it every second tile is, so it doesn't jut left and right so much. Yep. Okay. Now that's basically what I had in mind. I need to fix this so because road left plus road width. I need to fix that so that the default road at the bottom of the map isn't let me say. So the default road at the bottom of the map is the same width as everything else, which it is now, so that's good. Um yeah. I need to work out how to put those curves in. Now, I think the problem is the curves are over several. They take what? Let's go B road left 1. Yeah, okay. So that looks like, those tiles should be identical. Oh, because that's the right hand side. Did they even have I might need to copy paste some tiles. In fact, they got a little corner piece there as well, which is a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. That basically means if we do the right-hand side, we need 3 tiles. I think we need 3 tiles to move over by 1. I suppose we won't need to. I won't bother with that corner bit. I just need the let's name that road. Right 1. And let's be road right 2. And if that works, we'll just do a copy and paste and then flip this set of tiles. Um, Make a new variable, and I'm going to call this I'm going to call this slant, or road slant. So what we will do with the dice is that we'll set this road slant variable, and then that will return to 0 for a straight road over several, over several turns. Just for consistency, logical consistency, I'm going to swap those around. So we should be able to say B road right underscore 2, B road right 1, and let's try that. Oops, else. Oh no, that's just else. Okay, good night, Ready Dick. Thanks for the thanks for joining the stream. Oh, because I haven't set the slant. So all I need to do is I should just be able to go set road slant equals dice times 2. So if it's going to the right, then the slant right is going to be 2. Almost. What have I done here? I have done something wrong. Oh! No, I've got it the opposite way around. Because if it's moving, because that... Okay, yeah, because I'm going to want... Because what I hadn't considered is I'm going to want to have, like, 4 blocks of slanting tiles. So I'm going to want... because that is the right side slanting left. I'm going to want the right side slanting right as well. And I'm going to want the left side slanting left, and I'm going to want this left side slanting right. So I'm going to... Let's... B road right... left slant... B road right, left slant 1. And let's rename that to B road right, left slant 2. -2, that'd be 1, -1, so equal to 0. I'm going to go edges, or road slants. I'm going to want to handle the logic for the left and the right together. If road slant 0... actually, no, I'll just... B road left. B road right slant 2. Slant 1. B road right. Oh, left slant. So we'll focus on getting the right-hand side of the road fixed first. Ah, B road right. Oh, because one more underscore. There we go. Okay. Maybe I should be using Visual Studio Code with Dockster's plugin, because I believe that picks up a lot of that stuff. Okay, there's a few problems. Oh, yeah. No, we are going to want to handle the road slants separately for left and right. Okay, so let's take that out of there. No, why isn't that? Ah, okay. No, I'm supposed to have double equals here. That will explain a few things. The reason why I didn't have double equals there is because I do half of my coding for Scorpion in Blitz Basic, which doesn't use the double equals convention for comparing one equation to another equation. That's almost better. It's just around the wrong way. Why have I got it around that way? Why is it like that? Road slant 2. No, that can't... Wait, that can't be right. Sure? I'll try it again. Oh, it's not 3, is it? Okay, yeah, this is just confusing, but I should go down to here, and I'll use that one. Oh, actually, I know what the real problem is. I've got to use yeah, because logically this is moved over. So I'll do this to start with, and then I'll need to add that one in as part of the inner road. No, it's still not quite what I expected. Why not? So road slant 2. Left slant 2. Oh, because yeah. No, I know. Yeah, because that's already moved, so that needs to be over by 1. Okay, so that should be x plus 1. And then that one, I don't think I need to worry about the second one. It should already be in the right place. What did I do there? Oh, okay, that one will move over. Oh, because the right scenery. I'll need to do the slants last because they might override some of the scenery. Yeah, I think that will do it. Okay, yeah, it's missing that little bit in the middle, but we are getting there. Um, do I want that? I suppose I should. I should have that. So I have, yeah, I'll need 1A and 1B. So I'm going to rename this to being road slant left 1A. And I'll copy that to B road left slant 1B. And then that can be renamed to 2A. So I'm going to need like 4 blocks per corner on both sides. We'll be running for a couple of... Oops. We've been running for a couple of hours, so try to get through this as quickly as I can. And then I just want to add a car to it. And that will be the end of the stream. A1A. So that will be one. B A B A. Hope that's going to work. Yeah. Yeah, that looks smooth. Of course, we need it to go right as well, but we are getting there. So I'm going to want the same set of blocks going, going in the opposite direction. So we want B road right slant 1A. I'm probably going to want to adjust these coordinates, but I'll see what it looks like, because I'll probably want, like, to be -1 to decrease it by 1. But oh, maybe. Rename all these. Yeah, now I think the problem is I need to move everything over by 1. I also think I maybe have got those backwards. Let's have a look, because yeah, so the 2 is when we are starting the curve, and 1 is when we're ending it. So I need to swap those coordinates. So that should make it look a little bit better, and then I think I have to fix the offset. Yeah, I think we're nearly there. So that'll be +1 -1. Let's try that. Almost. What have I done wrong here? Oh, I know what I've done wrong. It's because our slant doesn't take into account um, yeah, our slant doesn't take into account we might have already hit the edge of the road, so we can't actually go any further. So road slant is 0. So that's a bit of a hack. Well, I mean, it's not the most elegant way of doing it, but that should prevent it from trying to slope when it's outside the screen anyway, and so it doesn't, or when it hit the edge of the screen anyway, so it shouldn't be trying to slope. There we go. That's looking that's looking much better. Um, yeah. Okay, I don't think we've got counterparts of those tiles on the other side. Or do we? No, because, well, we've got like that little bit of like a road island there. We don't have that flipped. Um, so let's just do some hackery. We don't need to like, well, we only need to copy and paste the 2 bits that we've actually slanted. Which are the start of this road bit. Let's flip that horizontal. Now we're gonna need to copy. We're gonna need to copy this 8 times. So we'll B road left slant 1, and did I not? Didn't save that. There we go. So let's and that's going to be the top because that's coming out of the turn. B road right. Oh. Left slant 1B. So that's that one there. Let's copy that again. 2A. Copy that again. So that's our left slanty road. B road left right slant. 1A. To A and road right slant 2B. Okay, those are all our blocks. We don't want our left slant here. So we set our left scenery, our middle of the road, our right scenery, and then we want our road slants last. And now I'm going to make a few adjustments here. I'm going to get rid of these ones that set the road slant for the next frame. So we don't need that anymore. Well, because it's going to be set down here. So it's going to confuse it if we set it twice. So we're just going to set it once. Now these I'm probably going to need. I may need to adjust the coordinates on, but just to start with, I'm just going to swap left to right. It may just work, or it may just, like, I might need to just nudge these left or right. I'll just see how it looks, and if it doesn't quite look like it should, then I'll tweak it a bit. Whoa, that is not what I expected. That's not what I expected at all. Looks like it's mixing the left and the right. Slants. Slant 1A. It's coming. What have I done wrong? Oh! Okay, so for one, yeah, that was supposed to be set as left. Left slant, right slant. Okay, so I don't know that was the whole problem. That was part of the problem. We'll see how it looks now. Oh yeah, Alex Twitch pointed out that exact thing I forgot to do. What? Okay, it looks like I've got them flipped around. Yeah. Why have I got them flipped around? Oh yeah, because that is actually slanting right. So I know what I need to do. I need to make those vice versa. So that is the left slant there, and then this one is the right slant. Yeah, yeah, there we go. We've got our infinite river raid road. I mean, in fact, all we'd need to do is paint that road to be blue, and we would have river raid. Um, just a couple of bridges, and yeah, no, that's yeah, I am fairly happy with that. I mean, we could go further and make it so that the road gets narrower and wider, and so the slanting would be independent. But I don't think we need to go further than that for today. There's the road ass again. Um, the only thing I wanted to do is a last minute thing, and that's just because we've got to have a car. I like that blue one. The racing stripe makes it go faster. What should we be? No, we won't. We won't be the cops. Um, yeah. I think the original intent with Highway Sprint is that some players play as the cops and others play as the racers. But yeah, this has given me the confidence that I think I could remake Highway Sprint fully in Scorpion Engine. Go count sprites. There's only one column. There's 3 rows. I want to manually add an animation, so let's call this a blue car. Now I realize the obvious thing here is that oh, actually no, I was going to do something fancy with I was going to do something fancy with the animation system in code, but I don't need to. I can do this just with the built-in animation system for just frame. Is that auto flip? Yeah, I don't really need that left frame. I figure that's probably just flipped anyway. But that gives us our idle and our right frame. And then all we need to do, let's go actors blue car. And so the default is idle for everything. But for our move, we want right, 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 left, left, left. That should be control. Go 2, 2, 2, 2. And I'll set the default look dirty up. It doesn't really matter. I'll just set the delay to infinite. That's, just a minor performance hack. Let's have a look. So, I won't. All I need to do here is I need to spawn it. And I could just put it in the map, but that might mean that it sort of gets confused where it is. But the X position is going to be 128, so that'll be middle of the screen. Y position will be 256 plus, or camera Y plus 128, so that should be dead center of the screen. And if our level scroll is set to warp, which it is, that will drag the car with us. Yep, okay, now that works. I'm just confused on why the road is so broken at the start there. That shouldn't be too hard to fix. Oh. So why does it get broken on that first one? It's like it's drawing at the edge there. And it's not properly slanting. Oh, is it because the road is... Yeah, I think it's because the road is too far to the right. Let's have a look. So 6 plus 8. No, I don't think it's actually too far to the right, but I'll just see what happens if we fix that. And we don't set that at the wrong place. No, we do set that first. Okay, we'll just road right equals road length plus road width equals road length plus road width. Let's try that again. It could be maybe it's something I've overlooked with the Oh no. Okay, yeah, it was just I had the road too far to the right, so I was getting a bit confused. But that's looking better. I mean, yeah, I was just thinking about making it uh, I was thinking about making it so that it would have a dynamic road width, but that's uh yeah, having a dynamic road width is just a little bit, just a little bit of elbow grease or a bit of busy work to get it going. Um Flibble says, how would you cope with road edge collisions? I mean, I would just use, I would have it so the blocks themselves were colliders, and then I could use some logic, or I could do like have the pixel perfect block testing to say, okay, well, we're over this block, but are we over the you know, the solid part of the block, or yeah, I mean, I'll probably just have it so that like there's a block, maybe an invisible block that's on the outside of that, and so it basically says, okay, well, if we collide with that outside block, we're well outside the road, and so let's count that as a collision, even if it's not perfectly shaped to being the slant. But that doesn't matter too much. I think to finish off, I'm gonna test that. Just gonna test that it works on Mega Drive and works on Neo Geo, because I do want this to be, a universal demo, not just an Amiga demo. Oh, that's not good. Maybe that buffer width, is that too big? Is that going to be confusing it? No, that should not be happening. That is a catastrophic error. That's not something I wanted to have on stream. But it is what it is, and I'm using the experimental version of Scorpion, so there is something in one of these that's breaking things. Let's give it a quick try on Neo Geo. Okay, because I already had... okay, I already had... some bugs I needed to fix with the fast warping. Oh, let's try that again. Okay, I hadn't finished copying, I think, before it started. Oh, that's a different crash. Yeah, no, that is not good. If I had to guess, I'm thinking... Actually, yeah, I think I know exactly why it's not working. It's because there's only a limited number of tiles that you can draw every frame, and I think that's drawing a massive number of tiles, just this one here. What if I try that? So it should draw it slice by slice. Okay, that's better. Okay, so it had too many blocks to draw in one frame. Oh, now, and why did it mess up like that? Oh, I think I know. Oh, yeah, because I think that is going to need to be fast warp on Neo Geo at least. Let's see if that works. No, that doesn't. So fast warp doesn't really work here either. I have got the buffer size right. How could it be? I don't know. But I'll go to Mega Drive now, and hopefully that will be a little bit better. Okay, at least it's not crashing. And it looks like it's just working on Mega Drive. Okay, I mean, that's a good sign. I can't explain why it's glitching out like that on Neo Geo. But, it's good that it's working, at least on this platform 100%. It's not working 100% on Amiga because of the that fast warp bug. But yeah, so long story short, it's broken on Neo Geo, it's fine on Mega Drive, it's almost fine on Amiga, except the fast warp isn't working, like, because fast warp on every platform should work exactly like it's working here. And it isn't for reasons I don't quite understand, but I will investigate that. Okay, well, thanks everyone for watching the stream. 2.5 hours. This has been one of my longest streams. Let's wrap things up. I'm probably going to give a copy of this to my patrons first, as is, and then later when I've patched it, I'll later when I have patched it, I will put it on you know, on the make it part of the main demo pack. I'll replace the previous Infinite Racing demo with this one. Yeah, thank you, Flibble. Thank you, Alex. Right. Well, let's raid a channel. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I raided Retro Demiurgi, so let's raid him now. Okay, I will catch you all later.